Do you have forgotten treasure?
Yeah.
No. Bring
Good
it up.
morning, everybody. Hope everybody's having a good day. I'm going to try to remember how to do this because it's been so long since I've even been online.
Oh, that was 2019. Which one is it? You're
Which
not
one
even.
today?
You're not
It
even.
should it should say live.
Let's see.
Good morning, Nikki.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Sorry.
Morning.
Nikki, you don't have to have your mask on.
They mandated it here, so I had to keep my mask on.
Okay. Well, we have a mandate here too, but I'm gonna break the rules. Good morning, Craig. Um, Todd, I'm really disappointed.
Yeah, I'm a disappointment. What are you talking about?
Wait a minute. Bridget's rattling off over here. Um, I'm surprised you didn't buy the love of your life, that little boat that she saw that's for sale.
Yeah, you know, when a yacht costs, they showed us one yacht parked there in the harbor
Right,
at Miami Beach.
right.
It was for sale for $122 million.
And you didn't buy it?
No.
You know, you got to have a lot of money to afford something like that.
Yeah, just maintenance and crew and dock fees and fuel and all that kind of business would be about 5 million a year.
Yeah. Well, you know, they lease them out. And the one that she showed that was like $130 million, she posted a picture of,
Yeah.
it probably cost you $300,000 a week to charter that thing.
All right,
Because
Craig, shut
most
up.
of them were chartered, even the big ones that like Mr. Amazon has. Yeah, Bezos. His is chartered. You can charter it. And if I spent that kind of money for a boat, I don't think I just want anybody, you know, hanging out in my boat.
Yeah, I mean it's the big ones are like mini cruise ships. They
Yeah.
really are.
Hey, Fish, how are you this morning? Yeah, Todd's taking his 4 weeks of vacation, so he's got to get back to work now.
Yep. Dang it.
Fish, did y'all get snow over at the coast?
I'll be right back.
All right.
Okay.
Um, I was sorry. I got a bunch of Facebook stuff coming in right now. Sally will be here in a few minutes. Bridget's out on the road. She said, "You want me to come on, and I'll just turn on my camera."
I showed Bridget's pictures of the snow they were having to blow to different people during our trip. They were like, "Good grief, where's that?" I said, "It's New York." And your pictures weren't a whole lot better. You didn't have as much snow as Bridget, but it's pretty well covered the ground pretty good.
We got ice. Most of ours was ice, and then about 5 o'clock Friday night, it started snowing. So we had snow on top of our ice,
Nice.
and we still have a good bit. The roads are all clear though, because
So did you
it
go
just
out and create a snow castle and a snowman and do the snow angels on the lawn and stuff?
no. I don't do the cold. I'm too I'm too old for that.
You're too old.
Uh, my nephew, and down in South Carolina, his little girl got out. He and his little girl got out and made a snowman, and it must have been about 6 inches tall.
Bay effect coming down off the Chesapeake Bay.
Are you kidding me, Fish? You're supposed to get up to 14 inches this weekend. He's over by the Outer Banks.
Hmm.
It's hey Bumcrack, how are you? Oh, so y'all get that Bay effect. He said sometimes they get the Chesapeake Bay effect and it throws snow down on them.
Yeah, Land Shark, I made some money while I was gone on eBay. I sold a few things. It's definitely down. Taking a couple of weeks off really slows down your sales.
Well, y'all were gone about 2 weeks, weren't you? 2.5.
10 days, but from eBay I was gone about 2 weeks.
Okay. And you say by posting, extending your handling on it, that you feel like that really messed up your sales?
Yeah, that and not listing. Haven't listed anything in probably 3 weeks. So
Well, I took everything down and was putting it back up, and then Sergey got sick with COVID, and then I got sick, and just trying to get over all of that, I just haven't got nothing done.
yeah,
So I was working on it last night. Craig, I don't do snow angels because if I was to lay down in the snow making snow angels, it would look like a turtle trying to get that's turned over on its back, trying to get up.
I actually got to see a sea turtle. We saw all kinds of stuff.
You went out on the airboat too, right? Swamp through the swamp.
Yeah, we did that for one of our trips. Saw a bunch of alligators and bunch of birds.
Right. Now,
And
did your brother
iguana up in the trees. I thought, what are they doing up in the tree? I didn't know iguanas could climb. But
Well, if
yeah,
you went to Mexico, you should have seen them all over the place.
yeah.
Did your brother and sister-in-law get sick?
My brother,
Or your brother and sister-in-law?
yeah.
Hey, Mr. Sadie.
They had to miss the cruise part, but they met us in Miami after the cruise was over.
Right.
After his, quarantine was over with.
What they do? Just get to a hotel?
Yeah, we just met him at a hotel and stayed 4 more nights in Miami after we got back.
Well, I mean, while y'all were on the cruise, did they just stay at a hotel waiting on y'all to get back, or did they make it to Miami?
No, they didn't go to Miami until the cruise.
Okay.
Same day the cruise ended. So.
Thank you, Mr. Sadie.
Yeah.
It's just, well, I'm glad y'all had a good time.
Yeah.
You didn't have many people on the ship. Which when Vanya and Nick and Angela went on their cruise, they were like at 25% occupancy too, and they were on like a 6,000 passenger ship.
Yeah.
So that had to be nice.
Things were sure different with COVID because they had sinks installed in the hallway leading up to the dining areas. And they stood over you and watched you wash your hands before they would allow you in the.
No, did you go to the buffet?
Yeah, and the buffet was not a buffet. Everything was put on a plate for you. You pointed at what you wanted, and then
Right.
they would put it on your plate. But you couldn't just reach in there and get it yourself.
Yeah, we looked at some videos on YouTube, and apparently that's what everybody was doing. Is they've gone to like serving. But it's all over with now. It's time to get back to work.
Yep.
Gwen's going to have you on bread and water for the next 30 days because you probably put on 15 pounds while you were on the cruise.
I actually weighed this morning and I didn't gain anything. I didn't
Well,
lose anything.
You do eat a lot, but unless you just veg out in your cabin or, you do a lot of walking.
Yeah, the last 4 days on my brother's step tracker, we walked like 14 miles in 4 days. So, yeah, you're more active when you're on vacation.
Yeah.
So, that kept the excessive eating from making me gain any weight.
Mr. said he wants to know if you were able to buy any damn bait on that boat.
It's like Vegas vacation.
Yeah.
Where do you buy the damn bait?
It's it's everything's changed because of COVID and how everything's going to be done differently now and it's not going to go back because they probably found out that you don't waste as much food. They don't waste as much food when you got to make the effort to go back up there for seconds instead of piling your food on.
Yeah, I mean, they would give you as much as you ask them to give you.
Yeah.
But, yeah, and then the nice dining. We did the nice dining room each evening, and
Right.
we
usually do that too.
I would get like 3 appetizers every evening because you could.
Yeah.
And the funnest waiter and waitress, we got the same ones every night, and they were just hilarious. They were just like, we even took pictures with the waiter and waitress on our last evening.
When we took the boys back in 2016, 2017, whenever it was, we were sitting at the table and Nick was going, well, I like the frog legs, but I like the escargot too. And the waiter says, I'll just bring you both. I'll bring you both. And then so Sasha, he was like, well, I want this and this. And he's like, it's done. You know?
Yep.
And
even
with the main course, your main course, if you want one of 2 different things, they'll bring it to you.
Yeah, and Gwen would get a little bit miffed at me because I would have like 3 appetizers.
Right.
And they wouldn't bring me the second one until I finished the first one. And then the third one. And then So they hold the main course until we're both finished with the appetizers, right? So Gwen would sit there and watch me eat my appetizers, and
Well, you should have told her that she should have got 2.
uh,
Do you see
I
what
was,
Mr. Sadie said in the chat? He said, last cruise
yeah,
he went on, they frowned when I ran a trout line.
trout line, yeah.
Mr. Sadie is a
He's
big fisherman.
he's full of a trout line, I think.
You know,
We call them trout lines here. We don't call them trout lines.
yeah, that's what we call them, 2 trout lines. But you know what? I bet
I
you'd
could
win.
imagine Sadie hauling a 20-pound fish up 11 stories to the top of the top deck where you could land a fish.
And you know, when as that fish is coming up by somebody's balcony, you know,
I know, slapping up against their window.
but you know, back when they had those cruise ships that were like having to cut loops, they for about a week they were stuck out there, which they had plenty of food, but you know, I imagine you could wish you had a fishing line after a while. Yeah, you used to could smoke on a cruise ship too, fish. Which I'm not a smoker, but we went with our best friends years ago, and matter of fact, Chris and I were standing up on the wings. It's like right below the bridge, Todd. You know, they usually stick out a little ways.
Yeah.
We were standing up there smoking cigars, and it was at night. We had just finished eating, and you could see all the stars. It was beautiful out there, and then you saw this dark line, and it was Hurricane Dolly.
Oh wow.
So we finished our cigars and was standing there talking about it because off in the distance you could see we were out in the Gulf of Mexico, so you could see the oil rigs out there.
Yeah.
Off in the distance, and one of the crew came by and said, "You gentlemen might want to step inside because it's getting ready to get nasty." And boy, did it get nasty. We went through Hurricane Dolly because there was somebody on board that we had to get to the Cayman Islands so they could get on a plane back to the U.S. because they were sick.
Yeah, it was. We had a cold front come through one of the days, and man, that ship rocked more than I thought it could.
Wow.
It was, and it wasn't a huge storm. It was just a cold front pushing through, but it got windy. It was not fun to be on deck.
That was the only time. I've been on a ship that was really rough. You know, normally you can just feel a little nudge every once in a while when it's going through the waves. But other than that, it was nasty. The waves were breaking over the top of the ship. You know, when it was cut, ship was cutting through them, the waves would splash up over it. People would get sick everywhere. It was nasty.
Yeah, ours wasn't that bad, but it rocked more than I thought it would. You know, you'd be walking along down the promenade deck, and whoa, I feel I'm either drunk or
Mr. Sadie says you used to could smoke in hospitals, the good old days. I like old movies, and I was watching one movie, and this kid was sick. You know, it's an old black and white one from the 50s or whatever. he was sick in bed, and the doctor made a house call, and he finished checking him out, and his parents came back into the bedroom, and the boy's bedroom, and the doctor, he just lights up a cigarette. He's standing at the foot of the kid's bed saying, he's good. He's going to be okay. He's just running a little fever, blah, blah, blah. And he's just smoking away. If a doctor was to do that now, they would have to call the emergency, the ambulances, because the people would be having a stroke.
I was watching I Love Lucy one day, and I saw that with the doctor. He came and made a house call, and he's sitting there smoking away.
Yeah, well, I remember being at the doctor one time when my brother and I were little. My brother had got something in his eye, and
your fist?
No, it was probably my doing, but anyway, the doctor was trying to get it out with a cotton swab, and then he would set the cotton swab down on the edge of his ashtray while he was looking in my brother's eye, and then he'd pick it up and go to work some more,
That
Those days are different.
I was telling Roberta the lady's voice that she heard, that was Nikki, because I'm always talking about Nikki and her 7 below zero or her 13 below zero weather up there.
We're 7 degrees this morning, so we're above zero.
Oh, it's warm. You're going to go out and lay in the sun a little bit then.
But it feels like, with the wind chill, it feels like about probably 20 below. It's windy out.
That's right, Sadie. I was getting my shower the very last day of our cruise, our morning shower, go down and eat breakfast, and then get off the ship. And the cleaning people opened our door, and I was standing there in a towel. Said, whoa! Don't come in. We're still here.
Good morning, Roberta. By the way.
Good morning.
You didn't have any calls, so I'm doing it at the desk. Oh, sorry, Sally.
Hey.
Hey, Sally.
Hi, Sally.
Hi, Sally.
Okay.
Yeah, that crew attendant did not want to see me in a towel with my fat belly hanging over the top of it. So, whoa,
I'm sure,
y'all don't want to come in.
I'm working in the motel business. I'm sure they've seen worse.
Yeah. On a cruise ship, especially when they get drunk, I'm sure they've seen a lot. They've seen a lot more of a lot of people than they would like to see. Hey, just Pamela.
Yeah, our cabin boy, he made us one of those towel animals every time we left. We'd come back to the room, there'd be a monkey or there'd be a bear.
I didn't hear your complete story, but it reminded me of the time that I took the kids to the hotel, to the water park, and we did that. Where the waves, they have the wave thing, the wave machine inside the hotel, and I tried that, and I lost my complete bathing suit, a 2-piece. Actually, I lost 3 pieces because I was wearing shorts over that too, and so I lost 3 complete pieces of my bathing suit, like all the way off, and I was hiding behind my surfboard.
See, that was just normal when I was like a teenager, and a bunch of us guys would go out, like tubing and skiing and whatnot. Mm-hmm. See if you could knock somebody out of their bathing suit or the cut-off jeans. You spin them, you get them out, you get them going down the lake on that tube, and then you just cut the wheel real tight on the boat. So when they're out on the end of a 150-foot rope, by the time they get all the way around 180 degrees, they're making 300 miles an hour.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's crazy.
Good days. Now it'd be like, oh my God, what are you guys doing?
Thanks,
And I'm sure the
Sadie,
guy's boat that we used, I bet his dad probably wouldn't be too happy about it either. So, but that was some good times.
So yeah, we lucked out on that cruise though because they actually offloaded some passengers and put them on a different ship and brought them home with COVID.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I'm surprised they let you off.
Oh boy.
Yeah, they transferred them to a different ship.
Did you test in? Did y'all have to do any testing while you were there?
Not while we were there, but we sure did have to have a test 48 hours before we left.
Right. But you say your brother never got sick. He just tested positive.
Yeah. No, he was sickly. He got achy and he had a 99 point something degree fever. But it was real mild.
Right.
So do they recommend you quarantine now for like 5 days or something or what?
Yeah, that's what his was. So
No, you.
me? No, I
Yeah.
wasn't exposed to him.
Well, if they had people on there that had COVID, wouldn't you been exposed?
Oh, well, I don't know.
Kind of.
No, they didn't say the reason the transfer was because
Oh.
of COVID, but I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah, I don't know about me and Gary wanted to go on a cruise and then COVID hit. But I don't know, it's a damn petri dish. I don't know if I want to go on one yet.
Well, they're at so low capacity now. I mean, that's one good thing about it is you're not, especially on those big ones, where you got 5,000-6,000 people there. There's times of the day that you're just like, at least from the videos on YouTube, it looks like you're just elbow to elbow with people.
Yeah.
Is Mike in the chat?
Who?
Yeah.
Mike?
Mike.
Magic Mike.
Roxy.
I thought he was. Maybe he's not. Nope, he's not there.
Sweet.
Oh. I have to apologize to him.
Oh.
What'd you do?
Because when this first was starting up, COVID was first starting up, and he was like, "We better be careful," and blah blah blah. It's gonna be bad, and da 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 da. And he was, "Oh my god!" And I was like, "Nah, it's gonna be like the swine flu. We're all gonna be okay. Don't worry about it. It's not gonna end up being a pandemic."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said, Dr. Drew says we're going to be okay. We got to be more worried about the flu. Don't worry about it. Well, then Dr. Drew, like a year later, he's like, I apologize to everybody.
Well, and it's not like sickly people got it. There was no rhyme to reason to why people got it.
I don't think anybody thought it was going to be as bad as what it was.
They shut down school again here all of last week because of COVID. Nearly every town in Central Texas shut down school last week.
Well, ours was shut down because of snow.
Oh, did you get a half inch?
Oh, we got like 3 inches of
ice.
ice.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they got like 3 or 4 inches. Which is like
you guys were probably starting sending in the National Guard, huh?
Yeah.
You might as well have like your 4 feet on the ground.
That's right, Nikki. Those people.
Yeah. Sally, this is the other lady that just came in here. She lives in upstate Michigan. So, they're used to the 3 feet of snow in 20 minutes thing. Roberta's sitting right there. So.
I remember Dusty
might have more than us right now.
Dusty used to get perturbed with us because we'd laugh at them when they get like a quarter or a half inch, and we'd laugh at them because they had to go out and get their milk and bread.
Back before we got our snow, Sasha said you need to get some milk because he eats cereal and he wanted some milk. So I said, well, we need some bread too. I was literally embarrassed to go into the food line to get milk and bread because I needed milk and bread. But, they were talking about a blizzard coming. So,
I was
Oh,
I was
God.
laughing the other day. I thought of you and everybody down there when I heard somebody on YouTube. She's like, there's no meat at the store. It's all gone. She goes, there's no milk and bread. I can't have milk sandwiches during the snowstorm.
it's, and they were calling about, I'm serious. I think the kids went back to school today. Um, but because we have rural areas, like in the city, the streets are all dry and clean. The rural areas, they're shaded, so the ice and snow doesn't come off of them very fast. But I think they went back to school today. But yeah, I know y'all just laugh at us Southerners about our snow, but we laugh at y'all when y'all come down here in August and it's 400% humidity and you step out of your air conditioning cars and just about pass out.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, I have a correction to make. It's not 7 degrees yet. That's supposed to be the high today. It's only 3 right now, and the feel like temperature is 16 below.
I'm telling you, you need to load Daddy up and say, we're moving. Pack that truck up and move to Beverly Hills, move south.
Actually, my husband's company bought properties down in Corpus Christi,
Really?
and they're having a hard time finding people that'll fix stuff down there good. And so he's been talking about sending Gary down there during the winter months to get stuff done down there.
Where's he working at now, Nikki?
And he works for like a they do like homes rentals and stuff, management company kind of thing. Anyways, they were talking about sending them down there in the wintertime, maybe in like a year or so. They'll be big enough to be sending them down there during the winter. He goes, I said, well, tell them as long as me and my dad can go too, we'll go.
Yeah. Corpus Christi, that's like Hurricane Road down there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it down there by Houston?
Yeah, it's on the ocean, so.
Good morning, Karen.
Yeah.
Hi, Karen.
Pamela, you said Canada. Canada has gone crazy up there.
It's quite warm here right now. It's 28.
Wow. I know, I was excited yesterday. We hit 29. I was pretty excited.
That's that global warming.
That's so sad.
See, before January, we're like freezing to death at 29. We're like, oh my God, it's so cold. But then after January, because January is notorious for being below zero almost the whole month.
Yeah.
Then after January, we're like, ooh, 29. Yes, it's so warm out.
Well,
See, our coldest month is February, though.
Yeah,
Sometimes
I think
like the wind chill is -40.
Yeah, we get a little bit of that in February, but it's mostly January is the worst.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it's just because people get old, but Jim and Tara, they're this cold weather down, especially Jim. Tara says he freezes to death now, and they've only been in Kentucky 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
He's already climatized, and he's freezing to death, and they're used to that Wisconsin temperatures, with 2 feet of snow on the ground all the time.
yeah. Well, honestly, when we were younger, we moved down to southern Minnesota for like 3 years.
Right.
And I mean, southern Minnesota, the growing season is like a month before up here, starts a month before than up here. And honestly, I had to get reacclimated up here to the weather because it was so much warmer down there.
Well, you would, if you came south, you'd never be able to go back up there. I mean, when Lake Superior freezes over. That's pretty cold.
Yeah. The whole lake doesn't freeze though.
Yeah, just around the edges.
Yeah.
I was surprised. They said that we already have 15 inches of ice on our lake.
Yeah.
I was really surprised that because usually February is the time that it gets that much ice.
Roberta wants to go ice fishing. We were talking about that the other day, and she's like, "I'd like to try that."
I'm sorry.
Well,
I think it's
come
for
on up.
stupid people.
I'm joking. Miss Roberta doesn't fish, and she definitely doesn't go sit on a. Because we were talking about the shacks and like some people
Yeah.
just have tents. Some of them just have tents out there.
Yeah. Well, they're more than just tents.
Yeah, are they?
They're real thick. They're not just like your normal camping tent.
Yeah.
No, they're real thick. They're warm. You put a heater in there, it's nice and warm.
Well, that's just it. Some of them guys. I was watching something on YouTube, and this guy pulled out his fishing shack out on the lake or wherever he was fishing at, and it was like the inside of an RV in there. He had heaters and bunk beds and a kitchen.
Oh yeah.
And it was just on skids, and he just drag it out there. And he said at the end of the season, he just they had like a parking lot over on the shore that everybody just drug their shacks to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some of them they get real fancy though.
I won't go ice fishing. Not unless Gary takes me out there on a boat, drags me out there on a boat. When I was a kid, I fell through the ice, and I've been scared of ice ever since. Now, if it's like a small inland lake,
Right.
I might go out, but on Lake Superior or a river, I absolutely will not go out.
Yeah.
Good morning, Tex.
If the current can take me away, I won't go out on the ice.
There's people here that have no problem driving out on the freaking ice, and I'm like, that is so crazy to me. Like, yeah, the ice might be 15 inches, but that's only that thick.
Yeah.
It's like that's not thick enough for me. I'd have to have ice 50 feet, 50 inches, 50 inches deep. Hi, Texas Wow.
Mr. Sadie, what's wrong with a metal detecting when the ground's frozen? Just get your pickaxe out.
No connection issue. Sorry.
That's all right. Are you at home? You in town or you at home?
I'm in town. I love these people who in like in the middle of March when everything's fine, or the end of March, and they're driving out on the ice and then they're falling through. It's like stupid.
I would think that people that live up there would know.
But they should know, but they think, oh, it's okay, and we just drive out there, and I don't know how many times people are falling through the ice. It's stupid.
It's just like people driving on ice on the road.
Or before it's frozen over.
Well, it's just like the fools down here. Like I've said before, we don't get a lot of snow. We get a lot of ice.
Yeah.
And people that get out on these roads and drive like it's sunny and 70.
Yeah.
And they end up knocking the power lines down. Excuse me. And which means that we don't have power, and then we all get irritable.
Mm-hmm. Usually the ones falling through the ice are those idiots from North Carolina coming up here. No, I'm just kidding.
I wouldn't doubt it. Hey.
That's a big cat.
Yeah, he is. He's huge.
I've figured a way of getting Roxy not to go walking across my keyboard all the time now. I've got a kerosene heater sitting right here.
Oh.
And she's in a plastic basket, like you put papers in, one of those. Mm-hmm. She's sitting here and right beside, so the heat's coming up to her. So, which means when Roberta's she can get to work working, she won't be walking on her keyboard. When she walks on mine, she's not really doing any damage except disconnecting me from y'all or whatnot.
Right.
But when Roberta's working, she gets disconnected. It kind of causes problems. So I just have to keep the kerosene heater going. And
Mr. Sadie, he can't go ice fishing because he has pole envy, it looks like.
yes, what? Oh,
would be.
He's worried somebody's pole's going to be bigger than his.
You don't like those tip ups, huh? You don't like those tip ups?
Yeah, he doesn't like a flag on his pole.
No.
Why are you biting me?
I told Gary the only way I'm going ice fishing is if I can pass from the shore.
I didn't think Missouri got that much snow.
It does sometimes. It's not as it's not as often. It's like it'll snow one day and it'll melt the next, and snow one day and melt the next.
I'm hoping that if we get snow on Friday, that come Sunday it's sunny and 70. It's time to put the shorts back on.
So I have a I don't think you'd call her an announcement, but maybe it is. I'm changing a couple of things up with my life, and I think I'm well. I know because I made myself a schedule, and I'm only going to be hosting the show on Mondays and Fridays now. So
Okay.
you guys can, I can still come on panel or whatever, but I'm just I have other things that I have to get done. And I exercised for the first time in like a couple of years today. I was really happy with myself.
What'd you do? Where'd you go?
YouTube.
Oh.
I did it right here.
Did you do like one of the walking, stepping videos, or?
Yeah. Walking, dancing. Yeah. It was good. How?
You'll feel it tomorrow if you.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. But yeah, I just feel like I need to. There's a couple of things that I need to like set straight about myself. My sleep is one thing. Like, you guys have known me for years. You know that I'm horrible whenever it comes to needing to go to bed.
Yeah.
And so I had to make myself a freaking bedtime, which is 2:00 in the afternoon. And it's going to be hard to get used to that. But, I was talking to Valerie about it yesterday. She's like, trying to explain it to me that, it would actually be better for me to keep a regular schedule, even when I'm not working, like and like whenever I'm off work and I have the whole night off, I need to keep that schedule. So like even still wake up at 10 and like stay up all night, stay up until your bedtime the next day.
That'd be easier for your body.
Well, Sally, I say this and I'm not trying to be funny, and I'm being serious. We're all getting older.
Oh yeah.
And we need to have our rest.
Yep.
I mean, look at Todd. Todd's in bed by 7 and he sleeps at 7 the next morning.
Oh, I wish I could sleep that long.
I've got one in that's asleep right now, he could, but he works from 2 to, well, anymore it's 11 o'clock before he gets home, but in the evening. So he's his as Roberta says, his afternoons or his evening doesn't start till like midnight.
Yeah.
Up to like 4 o'clock in the morning. But you just have to create a schedule and stick to it.
Yeah, it's really hard because I want to be awake when everybody else is awake. You know, it's like
Yeah.
I don't want to miss out. I don't want to miss the party. You know.
Right.
Yep.
Yes, sir. This is the party. Woo woo.
Polly's like, please give me a break.
You know, I had a friend and she worked third shift. She worked third shift as long as I knew her. And even when she was on vacation, it was really hard for her to enjoy her vacation.
Yeah.
Because she was, by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, she's ready to lay down and go to sleep. And, and depending where they were vacationing at, there might not be anything going on at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of hard for them.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Sally. If we're sleeping, you can always depend on Bum Crack Picker. He never sleeps.
Oh, this is true.
Yeah. Being that he's in the UK, he's always ahead of us.
He'll be here. You can talk to.
Yeah. I thought about maybe having like a working hangout at night or something. Maybe I could try that.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if I want to do that or not. I was pretty productive last night. Just doing my own thing. I have a set schedule to where whenever I'm working or I'm off, from 11 to 6, I'm either at work or I'm here working and on my eBay listing. And then like 7 to 9, I'm doing my breakfast because I need to eat 3 times before 2 o'clock, and I don't eat at work. So that in itself is a task because you're preparing meals 3 times a day, but you're only doing them between 6 and 2 p.m.
Right.
And so it's, or even 1 p.m. actually, because 2 p.m. I'd be going to bed. So yeah, so I'm doing my exercise, my meds, my breakfast during that time, and then like 10 to noon, I'm going to be prepping items to list the next day, and then doing lunch, and then 12 to 2, I'm gonna be doing well, I guess I don't get dinner because I didn't put dinner on my thing. That's okay.
Can't your work get you? I mean, you should have enough seniority. Can't they get you on a regular schedule? Or you don't
What
want
do you
to?
mean?
Yeah, can't they get you on during the day or something? Or don't you want to work during the day?
I don't want to do that.
Oh.
It's too people-y.
Huh? What'd you say?
Too people-y out there for me. I mean, I have a hard enough time going to Walmart during the day.
Oh.
I don't want to do that. I've been working nights for years, and I think nights are the best for me.
Yeah.
But I just need to, I've never really set myself to a schedule to where I had to go to bed at a certain time and stuff like that. But y'all know that I'm very bullheaded, and it takes a lot for me to go to bed at a certain time. Sharon asked me that the other day. When do you ever sleep? I'm like, whenever. Whenever it happens, whenever I fall over. Usually it takes me falling asleep at my desk. And it's been really bad here lately because I don't like doing it, but it's been so bad that I'll sleep here for a couple of hours with my head hanging down, my feet are on the floor, and I'll wake up and I will feel absolutely horrible, and because I'm supposed to wear a CPAP. So, and whenever I go to bed, I wear a CPAP. So it's not like I don't want to wear it.
I'm not laughing about what you said, Sally. I'm laughing at the fact that I can go to sleep with my CPAP machine on, and all of a sudden I'll wake up because I can't breathe because the little dumbass that we have around here, the Cole, he's a little black kitten. He likes to go over there and sit on it, and he'll turn it off.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah. That scares the crap out of me when like the power goes out or something and my machine will go off. Oh my God. I absolutely hate that. Like the kids know if the power goes out, you need to go wake mom up so she don't die. I mean, I don't think I would die, but it's like I feel like I'm gonna die because I can't freaking breathe.
But he does. He likes that thing. He goes over there and he knows it because the button lights up.
Oh my
It's
God.
got a little glow to it, and he goes and he turns it off. But
what a brat.
I'm supposed to be getting one of those.
Are you?
Mm-hmm. If they ever come in, I was diagnosed in November or something, or September, something like that, and
Yeah.
but they're on back order, and they said I'll be lucky if I get it before February.
So none of your medical supplies places have them?
Nope.
Do you have a prescription?
Yeah.
I mean, you would have to have a prescription.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it took
you should
3
be able to go
months
through
for me to get
anywhere.
mine.
So
We have this place here in town, not too far from us, that we got our hoses and our nose pieces. They've got the equipment in. They've got all the equipment, but you have to have a prescription to get it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So I'll, if you've got the prescription, I'll get the information and maybe you can order it and have it shipped to you.
Well, that's what they usually do with mine.
I'm gonna call today and see if there's any headway on it, if they've made any headway yet.
Hell, at one point I was getting them from Florida.
Make sure it didn't fall through the cracks,
Yeah.
Food Forest, are you in? Good morning. Are you in Canada also?
Oh wait, what?
Food Forest. He said hello, Tom. Tom. And then he said you have that right to Pamela. So I'm assuming he's going back to where she's like they were going crazy in Canada.
Oh.
But I thought they were always crazy in Canada.
Yeah.
The thing is I told the doctor, I said, you guys got to hurry up. I says, I'm trying to beat my insurance here.
Yeah.
Because when Gary lost his job, I hurried up because we've got such expensive prescriptions. Like at the time I was on that $5,000 a month prescription and stuff.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, and my husband's got expensive inhalers and stuff. So when Gary lost his job, I hurried up and called and got on state insurance, right? Until he found another job.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when he found another job, I called and I said, okay. I said, well, he found another job, whatever. And they're like, okay, you're not qualified anymore. I said, I figured I would. It would make too much money. Well, but she said, because of COVID, we can't turn your insurance off. So I told him, I says, I'm trying to beat my insurance here. I said, because that's 100% insurance.
Yeah.
So I want to get my CPAP machine before I lose that 100% insurance.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know any day now they could just shut my insurance off.
There's a lot of insurances that are 100% on it because it's preventative.
Yeah.
Because sleep apnea just causes so many problems. There's people that are dying because their hearts are so bad
Yeah.
because of their sleep apnea.
Well, his company doesn't offer insurance, so we'll have to go on the marketplace, I'm sure, to find insurance. So I'm not going to find anything good. It's all going to be very expensive, I'm sure.
You mean Minnesota doesn't have free insurance?
Yeah. Actually, if it was in Minnesota, because I'm in Wisconsin, actually.
That's right. You're in Wisconsin.
But if I was in Minnesota, they have Minnesota Care, and if you make less than a certain amount of money, you can get their Minnesota Care, but you have to pay a premium like you would normal insurance. It's just like normal insurance, but it's a little but you can find more decent plans. But Wisconsin does not have that. Badger Care is either you get it or you don't.
Badger Care. That's what Tara's talked about that.
Yeah. And I call it my welfare insurance. And Carrie's like, would you stop calling it welfare insurance? We're not on welfare. I was like, yeah, but I love this insurance. I've never gotten anything from the government before like this. I'm like, yeah, I love this insurance. Go to the pharmacy and my copay is $0. I'm like, oh my God, this is nice.
Lord, it'd be nice if some of Roberta's meds had 0 copays.
Huh?
I said it would be nice if some of Roberta's meds has copays.
Yeah, nice. Yeah.
0 copays. She was watching this video on YouTube about this guy that lives in Arizona. And is it Yuma?
Yeah.
Yuma, Arizona. And he walks across the border through, a government entry port. And he goes across there with his prescription, and he gets like a year's worth of prescriptions for nearly nothing. So we've talked about maybe we need to make a trip to Arizona.
Well, that and Mexico will prescriptions too. My dad and his wife, they had like all their teeth done and everything down in Mexico.
I haven't seen the video, but Roberta was telling me about it. And apparently, this guy tells you, he says, go to this place and this guy. They've got a menu out in front of the store, the pharmacy, with what they got and how much it is.
Yep.
Well, that's when Gary was on those he's still on them inhalers. But and our insurance wasn't, when he had his insurance through his job, our insurance wasn't covering him or something, it wasn't covering him, this one inhaler that he had. And the inhaler was like, I don't know, like $1,000 a month, And we're like, what the hell are we going to do? Well, anyways, we were looking at Canada. Canada, it's actually cheap, really cheap up there if you order it from Canada. Right. So we were looking into that, but then he ended up losing his job and we got to get insurance. So.
Right. But it's Food Forest says Canada has free health care, but it's hard to get the health care.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard. And what's killer? There's a video on YouTube, and it's a certain street somewhere along the Canadian-American-U.S. border, and one half of the street is in Canada, and the other half of the street is in the United States. And and the person that was doing the video, he's like, well, you're supposed to go to an entry point. If you want to go see your neighbor across the street, you're supposed to go like 5 miles down to the road to a authorized entry point, and then go, walk back or go back up the other side of the road to their house. And
that would be stupid.
Yeah, I wonder how much that happens, people just diddy bop right across the street.
That would be ridiculous.
Well, that's the government's for you, you know. But I did. I thought that was really unusual. And Food Forest, you have a great day.
Bye.
Point Roberts is the place he was talking about. I was talking about. Hey, Jim, Tara. Yeah, she comes in the chat now that we finished talking. You know, she heard us talking about her.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I was surprised I got this thing to work. It's been so long since I've done a live.
You figured it out.
Yeah, actually, and I switched computer. Roberta bought me a computer.
Oh.
I started playing this game, and I was using Sergey's laptop. And I don't know whether he complained to her about it, but all of a sudden a new computer showed up. So I've been moving stuff from my old computer onto this one, and I guess I had logged in at some point and set up StreamYard. But she's been cutting wood. It's not cold up there, Tara. It's not 10 below zero, and there's not 3 feet of snow. What do you need wood for? Just put on your heavy coat.
I used to be jealous of Dusty when he used to say that he got wood for the winter, and he'd have just that little wood holder, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that'll last us whatever amount of time." I was like, "Oh my God, we got to get like cords and cords and cords of wood to last us for the winter, you know." And he just gets he would get that little campfire wood and just have that one holder full of it. And he's like, "Oh yeah, that'll last us a while." It's like, God, I wish.
I bought, just on the safe side, I normally don't do this. Roberta she said, you might want to pick up a pack of wood from the grocery store just in case.
Yeah.
So I did. A bundle about this big.
Oh yeah.
Was $9.89 plus tax.
Wow.
And
That's not how much we sell it for.
I'm thinking to myself, these teenagers that live out in the country, they could, because what they do is they sell them to the people that's got apartments that would have fireplaces, so they use it for ambience and stuff like that. And I said, these guys that live out there, these teenagers out in the country with a truck and a chainsaw and an axe, they can make a fortune just working in a high-end apartment complex.
We call that city folk wood. Dummies that go camping from the city, they don't know anybody any better than to buy that wood.
Are you kidding? When we used to camp when I was young, I was driving. We'd go up to the mountains camping. Usually we'd go up there for like long weekends, and we'd take a pickup truck, full of firewood, because we keep a fire going the whole time we were up there. And this campground we camped at, one of the managers came over there one time and said, "You know, we sell firewood up here. You don't have to haul it all the way up here." And my dad said, he said, "I can pay for a tank full of gas to haul that firewood up here cheaper than I can go in there and buy firewood for the weekend." But we did, because we'd get the rounds too, not the split wood. We'd have split wood and then we'd have rounds too. So to make it slow, burn slower. It's supposed to be 13 there tonight, Tara.
Wow.
That's your high, isn't it, Nikki?
Actually, our high is going to be 7 today.
7. All right.
I know. I wonder why she even moved down there.
I know. They should have just moved further south. Well, it's past it's 61 with Todd. That's okay. You'll stay warm. You'll stay warm while you're
The high tomorrow, though, is supposed to be 37. So we got a big cold front this evening.
Oh boy, I don't know how you're gonna handle that 37
Uh-huh.
degree weather.
That's how people get sick. That's how people south of the Mexican border, the Mason-Dixon line get sick. We're at 71 day and it's 30
Mhm.
the next.
Well, that's us. Yesterday it was 29 here. Today it's 3. You know, we're gonna have a high of 7. You know.
Mr. Sadie, we don't want to have to come up there and bail you out of jail. He says, give me a chainsaw and a 6-pack. My neighbor has some real nice trees. All right, guys, it's past our allotted time. Thank y'all for coming in and
Yeah.
catching up, because
Bye, everybody.
this year has been a blur.
Thank you for having it.
Todd,
Yeah.
you need to get to work now.
I know. I got like 30 orders to ship today.
Ooh, look at you go. Good job.
No, it's actually not very many per day total, but
You know how many Valerie had over the weekend?
mm-mm.
44.
Oh
Nice.
my gosh.
Wow.
Thanks for the show, Tom.
All right, thank y'all for coming in. It's glad to see everybody in. You people up north, Nikki, Sally, Pamela, y'all try to stay warm up there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Will do.
All right, we'll see y'all later.
Bye.
All right. Bye.
Bye, everybody.